What's going on, people, and welcome to Man Knows Football. You are here with Guni, and Younes is back on the channel. Thank you very much for coming back on. We will be discussing the Saul Niguez transfer and how Saul will actually fit into Chelsea. We'll do a little analysis on the benefits that he can bring to Thomas Tuchel's thriving Chelsea Football Club. But before we get into that, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Obviously, you already know Younes' details are going to be down there as well. Subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, Younes, how you doing, my bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We were just talking. It's been a bit mad on your end, but on my end, it's calm. Everything's nice. It's sunny. It's all good. It's all good. And transfer window's over. Happy days. It's all ended well in the end. So yeah.
Yeah, so Younes is referring to, we're just talking about the flood that happened in New York. So I live bang in Manhattan. And there's a video, I might just put it on the Twitter, but I just sent it to Younes. So basically, it looks like a just rapid river just going down like outside of my building. You could literally see people's garbage floating and people still trying to make fucking deliveries. It's just mental, man. But
crazy, man.
Yeah, that's New York City for you. But
meanwhile,
yes,
South London doesn't change.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So Saul Niguez, man, we know him as the techie Spanish centre midfielder who Diego Simeone has used as a utility man, rightly so or wrongly so. I don't know, but Saul doesn't seem to agree with some of the positions that he's been used. Hence why he's here, and hopefully that can be to our benefit. But Younes, how do you think Saul could add to this Chelsea team? What qualities does he bring to this squad?
I thought initially, I saw Saul and thought, you know what, this is really good because he's versatile. We know he's played like many positions, not just in terms of a centre mid or DM, even in that role, but he's even played left back, right back, centre back. He's done a lot. But then you started hearing the thing on his Twitch after he'd signed, and when it was in the process of the deal being announced, that he's been promised that he will play in his position. And I was like, okay, so he's just going to play in centre mid and that's it. But I honestly think he's going to bring a new dimension, man. This guy is like very similar playing style to Kovacic, but he can shoot. He can get forward. He can dribble. He can, much like Kovacic can. But we know Kovacic, Jorginho, Kante, they can't really shoot from distance. Saul can, and he's someone that can get into the box himself with the ball and put the ball in the net. So there's that. Alongside that, he's really, really solid defensively in terms of his strength and his stature. He's a bit of a good built. So I'm thinking, honestly, he's going to be a really, really good addition. I don't think he'll be the fourth choice, as I think many Chelsea fans seem to expect. Like, he's just cover. Like, no. I think he's the fourth option alongside Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic. I think all of them are going to be on the same level. Now we're playing in 5 competitions this season. I think it's going to be mad rotation. Especially in that position, you can't have the same 2 every game. It's too exhausting. Calendar is jam-packed. So, even going into the Club World Cup, that period of the year is going to be crazy. I expect Saul to be in that centre mid position, hopefully being solid, providing cover, but bombing forward and getting goals and shooting from distance because we need that. We haven't had that in a while. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I actually think that's really where Saul's strengths are, because he operates so well in between the lines, especially like further forward, because it's like you say about Kovacic, right? Kovacic is excellent everywhere else on the field, but when it comes to like the final third and actually having output and scoring goals, that's not what you expect from the man, because he's not great at it. It is what it is, but his other qualities obviously just compensate for that. He's an absolutely quality player. But with Saul, we've seen him in between those lines where Kovacic might fluff an opportunity. He can be absolutely lethal. I mean, although this isn't the best example, but I'm talking about in terms of technical ability and what he can do. The goal that he scored against Bayern Munich, when he literally, do you remember that one? When he literally danced through about 3-4 players and just puts it in bottom corner. Just absolute techie. And at Chelsea at the minute, although we do have Lukaku forward, and yes, that's primarily our focus to be our goal scorer, we used to have a tradition of midfielders behind our striker who could also put the ball in the back of the net, who could make those late runs into the box, i.e. Frankie Lampard. See what I'm saying? So with Saul, I do think that he does have that mental ability to be able to smell those late runs into the box, to perhaps bring like that similar Lampard-esque you know what I'm saying, out of the box finishing, because we've seen him do it there at Atletico Madrid. But the situation with him is, and I heard through his conference, like you said, is that he wants to play in this position, and that's what he's been promised. Yeah. So I think it's really about the confidence of the player and just getting himself back into that routine of match fitness in that position for him to go back to what he was. And it's like we said in the video before, Thomas Tuchel, of all managers, is the person who's able to get that from players. So in terms of that, I'm definitely expecting to see a couple of goals. Saul chip in with either a healthy amount of goal contributions or a couple of goals himself. Assists, or goals himself.
Yeah.
So do you see, also, I wanted to ask you as well, how do you see that partnership between potentially him, Lukaku, Kai Havertz, Ziyech, or pick your choice, or whoever it may be?
This is the thing. Our squad depth is stupid now, isn't it? It's ridiculous, the amount of choices we have. But I think he's going to provide another outlet in terms of getting goals. You know,
yeah.
How many times have we had it last season, especially, where we come up against a team, chance after chance after chance after chance, we're not putting them away. Now, thankfully, we got Lukaku there. But how many times have we come up against a low block team and we just can't get through? And we're like, this is just frustrating. Well, now we've got someone that can shoot from out the box. Do you know what I mean? So it's another way of scoring goals. It's another outlet. And you said it right in terms of Lampard. Our history with midfielders is amazing. Up until recently, in terms of scoring goals, we've had Lampard that can shoot. We've had Ballack that used to shoot. We've had Essien that used to shoot. Matic used to get a couple from distance, and we saw that goal against Spurs. We remember that one.
Yeah.
We haven't really had that in a while. We've always had the centre mids that do everything except shoot, and now Saul was someone that can just provide another option if we are chasing a game. He can always leave his partner in the double pivot and just join the attack and contribute that way. Where you think about a Jorginho or a Kovacic or even a Kante trying to do that, it's limited. With Saul, I don't think it's limited. And we got to remember, Saul isn't someone that's just, as I've said, come in and there's just another, fourth choice or whatever. Like, this guy was a £100 million rated player 2 years ago. Yeah. We had Man United chasing him for 130 million at the time. He only just came down the pecking order at Atletico and had a couple of mental problems in terms of really struggling to establish himself, low confidence, all of that. If you want a manager that's going to solve that, it's Thomas Tuchel. So, look, I'm happy. I'm gassed for him. I really think he's going to just come in and really, really do well. I think Tuchel will just, give him the confidence, give him the ease, peace of mind, and I think we'll see good things from Saul, goals and assists.
A factor that I feel is quite overlooked by a lot is looking at a player and seeing how they can pick up tactics and their tactical nous, and seeing if they can actually do what is asked of them in the role that they're asked to do it in. Simeone, although he's known for a very rigid style, and sometimes people say he's very negative and they have flashes of brilliance here and there, but it's not enough. But nonetheless, Simeone is very rigid in his tactics, and you have to have a bit of tactical nous about you to be able to play in that system, as well as Saul has in the past. And of course, to be a utility man in a system like that, it requires that mental discipline to be able to follow rules. So this is why I like to say that a player like Saul coming into Chelsea, I wouldn't really be surprised if like the learning and the sort of understanding time for him is slightly shorter, because look, he's got some Spanish compatriots that are there, obviously the main man being the captain. I mean, who better do you want to introduce to your club?
And Kepa helped the deal go through. So there's something there with him and Kepa.
Well, can you? I haven't heard. This is the first time hearing about it. Could you explain?
Basically, he admitted that to help his decision to come to Chelsea was actually Kepa.
Wow.
And if it wasn't that, he might have not actually gone ahead with it, because it's a big change really quickly for him and his family. But Kepa, Agent Kepa, at the end of the day, he's done good things this season, I got to say.
do we have like a secret agent academy at Chelsea? I think
we do,
Rudiger was like the trial one. No, do you know what? Do you know who was the trial that nobody really noticed? Joe Cole. Because remember, they sent Joe Cole to Lille on loan before we got Eden Hazard.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're
man.
Right.
Hey, listen, Guni's conspiratory theories are going off right now. I'm telling you. So listen, the secret agency is working out. Then we had Rudiger. He was able to help us with Werner and Havertz.
Yep.
Now we're seeing Kepa. Hey, listen, man, Marino, whatever it is you're doing at Chelsea, keep it going, man.
It's a madness.
Keep it going.
And we got players that finished their time at Chelsea. They go off to Arsenal and all that, destroy their clubs. It's all good.
That's it. And then you got Didier Drogba tweeting stuff like mission complete.
Simple.
Oh man, it's just football. It's a beautiful game, man. There's nothing like football banter. I'm telling you. But yeah, definitely Saul fitting into this team. I think his settling in period. I reckon it's got to be comfortable for him. Like we said, he's got Aspi there. He's got Marcus Alonso there. He's around players that have won everything. So it's a recipe for him to go in there and do well.
It is. You got to remember as well, this guy's not old. He's 26, and as you mentioned, that's pretty much his prime. As you mentioned, the fact that he's been under Diego Simeone, there's two attributes. One is that what you've already mentioned in terms of him being able to pick up instruction and such, rigid tactics very quickly. I think he'll do that with Thomas Tuchel. I think there'll be a lot of fluidity. But second point, we've always needed, actually, two more points. One more point being we needed someone that is going to come into that midfield and be defensively astute. You know what I mean? Solid. Yes. Yeah, where Kante can have cover, where Jorginho can have cover, where there's a big presence there that's able to be physical and not just in terms of strength, but being able to keep up and really read the dangers as they come. I think he's going to do that really, really well because he's come from an Atletico team that are so solid. It's ridiculous. Simeone is all about that defensive, strength. And he has that. The third point being the way that Thomas Tuchel is going to use him. You got to understand, Tuchel and his team seem to always have this thing about data. I saw an interview earlier today, Tubes on Soccer AM. Done a great interview with Thomas Tuchel. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's on YouTube. It's hilarious. But when they were talking about Frank Lampard's time at the club and Thomas Tuchel mentioning to the club, should you really go ahead with this in terms of sacking Lamps? I don't know if you've seen it, where he himself asked when he was approached saying, are you sure you want to go ahead with this and sack Lampard? Don't you think maybe he deserves a bit more time? He said in his interview with Tubes that him and his team had already looked at the data and come to a conclusion that some of the results at Chelsea were simply unlucky, not due to bad management or something, but simply unlucky. Him and his team are so data-driven. They look at every single little detail. So you can bet that Saul coming in is a very well-calculated and data-driven target, and he will come in and execute exactly what Tuchel wants. And I think it's going to be perfect. Tuchel is just this mastermind when it comes to that sort of thing. So I'm confident.
I mean, you're talking about a man who, it was widely reported before he even set foot at Chelsea Football Club, knew the profile of near enough like every senior player and like youth player at the club.
Exactly.
So that should really, if you want confidence in whether homework and research and meticulousness was taken in signing Saul, then please, by all means, look at the man's track record, like Younes rightly pointed out. But no, absolutely. Personally, I think this is a very positive signing. I think Saul is going to win over a lot of our fans. And I think to a point where, I mean, even, oh my goodness. We already spoke about this, but when I think about the price tag as well for the option to buy, it's just a recipe. It's just a win-win situation. Yeah, exactly. Because look, you're talking about a player who was won La Liga, broken that duct between Real Madrid and Barcelona, which we all know is not an easy thing to do. Obviously, Spanish Copa as well. He's won that. He's won 2 Europa Leagues as well. So he's not coming from like bad stock. You know what I'm saying? He is a proven winner himself. He's been part of the squad that's broken that stronghold between Barcelona and Real Madrid. So a little respect has got to be shown.
I'll be honest as well. I think we'll keep him. I don't see him being sent back, if I'm honest. I think in a similar way to Kovacic and the way that we got him on loan and then he settled in and then we signed him,
Yeah.
I think the same thing's going to happen. I don't see Saul playing really well under Tuchel, helping the team, hopefully at the end of the season, accomplishing something mega, and then going, all right, loan's over, see you later. No, we'll trigger the option. We'll keep him. So
No,
I think we might have seen the last of him at Atletico.
I hope so, because, you know, it's like you Tuchel said, he wants to build a team that no one wants to play against.
Yeah.
And he's showing that he's bringing it into fruition. Who doesn't want to be part of that dynasty? I'm pretty sure even though now he's already stepped into Stamford Bridge and into Cobham and all that and be like, nah, man, I ain't leaving this place. There's no more Atletico Madrid. There's no more Spain. This is home now. Fuck that. Yeah.
Exactly.
He better be going in there, be like, Tuchel, you triggered that option to buy yet, bro? I'm trying to stay, blood. Trust me. Yeah, man. Good times ahead for Chelsea, man. Definitely. But before we go, Younes, let them know what you've got going on later on in the day. I know you're gonna put out a couple of videos. I'm gonna literally put this out probably about an hour and a half after we've done this.
Yeah. I mean, it's an international break at the moment, isn't it? So it's a little bit quiet in terms of club football. However, I will be keeping up with all the latest and, pumping out some content on that. I will try during the international break, branch out a little bit and talk about other clubs perhaps and see exactly what the Premier League as a whole after this transfer window now consists of. So, yeah, bit of ideas over there. There's the Reddit series every Monday, and then into next week we get ready for club football again and back to the previews, reviews, and watch along. So, yeah, gonna be good.
There you go. So, like I said, Younes's details are down there in the descriptions. Every single one of his social medias, I believe it's Reddit, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, right?
Yeah, those are the ones.
You see, I'm telling you, been following Younes from day dot. Yeah. Hey, so I'm telling you, there ain't no shame in it. I've been watching Younes for years. So, like, to have Younes on the channel, like I said, man, it's a wonderful feeling. So, Younes, thank you again, man, for joining me here on the channel. And like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Man knows football. You already know. We're almost there at the 1,000 subscribers. Help us get there, man. We're so close.
You'll get there very soon.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Younes, thanks again, man.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me.